guys, and welcome to today's Los Blancos podcast. Today is going to be a quick one. We'll be discussing the Salzburg game, a game in which we won 3-0, a game in which I actually missed. I set my alarm. Obviously I don't live on that side of the world, so I set my alarm for 2 a.m. and I managed to somehow sleep through it. 4 hours I slept through an alarm, which is quite crazy. I woke up 6:30 and I was just like, how the fuck have I done that? But at least I woke up to a Real Madrid 3-0 win. Then I went and spent my time watching the highlights, the full game back, making sure that I didn't miss anything. And in this game, it was a fantastic game from Real Madrid. This is probably one of the best games I've seen Real Madrid play in a goddamn while. And it just looks like things keep evolving for Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. Things keep getting better, and we're going to have a perfect test next in the next round against Juventus. But this is perfect. Like, Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid are finally, we're ramping up. And looks really good. Each game we're seeing good developments. We're seeing good patterns of play. We're seeing good, skill sets added to our team. And that's huge. So I want to start with Gonzalo Garcia, because I think he was, in my opinion, probably man of the match. He was terrific. Contributed in most of the goals here and contributed a lot in play. A lot of people have been comparing him to Raul. Xabi Alonso compared him to Raul. Kian Giovanni compared him to Raul, and I see it. The way he plays, the way he moves, definitely looks like Raul. And then the goal in the end, I think if you can get more of a Raul finish than that chip, it's I'd be impressed. So I think that's a fantastic start. First things first for Gonzalo Garcia. 3 games, 3 immense performances. It does look like this guy is the real deal. Like, we're talking about a guy who's really got a good chance of making this Real Madrid now. He's got a really good chance, and it makes you think, how many players over the years has Ancelotti wasted, at Real Madrid. We could have had a couple of other guys playing good, solid football for Real Madrid from Castilla, but unfortunately they never got the opportunity. So we now got Xabi Alonso. We know that these Castilla boys are going to get the opportunities to shine. So I'm really excited, and I'm really happy to see Gonzalo Garcia playing like this, playing so fantastic, linking up so well, and just playing every aspect of the game just incredibly well. So I'm really happy with Gonzalo Garcia's performances so far. Next game, obviously, we've got a little bit of a question mark surrounding Gonzalo Garcia in terms of what do we do, because we got Mbappe likely to come back next game. He's that hospital, it's crazy. Getting basically diarrhea and being hospitalized for that is kind of crazy. But either way, he's coming back. It'd be interesting to see how Xabi Alonso fits Mbappe back into this team, because obviously it does look like this team is working hard. It's running. It's giving their all. Mbappe's gonna have to fit in, and Mbappe's gonna have to give it his all. That's crazy, but Mbappe is gonna have to do it. So I'm intrigued to see that, and I'm intrigued to see how Mbappe will fit. Maybe Xabi Alonso will get him playing a bit like Gonzalo Garcia in terms of the link-up play, because at the end of the day, I think Mbappe still needs to improve that, in terms of his game at Real Madrid. So hopefully Xabi Alonso can do a little bit of that, but it's going to be huge to have Mbappe back. And now this obviously adds the opportunity for Gonzalo Garcia to come off the bench and impact games, as one of the first substitutes. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Gonzalo Garcia in the next few games. Hopefully we can beat Juve to see that, but I'm really happy with him. Where should we move on to next? Vinicius. Last game I told you guys, it's crazy that some guys are giving up on Vinicius and telling Real Madrid to sell him because it's 6 months of bad football. I understand it's horrible. It's some of the worst football I've seen from Vinicius Junior, but I don't believe that. I think this performance especially just reinforced the fact that if Vinicius is playing at his best, Real Madrid can't do better than Vinicius. They can't. So you watch this game, and this was, in my opinion, vintage Vinicius when he's at his best, playing like this, just decisive, being able to decide games. The first goal was just something you'd see from Vinicius 2 seasons ago, or in that season when we won the Champions League, the second season, where he just took it inside, took it outside, bang with a left foot into the far corner, and the keeper has no chance. Like, that is decisive. In, out, shot, goal. That's decisive. That's the Vinicius Junior we wanted to see, and it felt like, that's just a huge amount of pressure off Vinicius' back to get that goal finally go in that manner. Vinny's scored some goals in the last few months, but I think nothing's felt. They haven't really felt different. They haven't felt like they've changed much. This goal, I feel like, has changed a little bit, and especially with the assist to Fede, I think that was a really smart bit of play from Vinicius, which has been, where Vinny has been falling over the last few games, is the fact that his decision making has been pathetic. So the fact is that he read that situation so well, he dragged the Salzburg defender out with him, then dragged it back to Valverde, and Valverde obviously dispatched from there. It's just great decision making from Vinny, quick decision making from Vinny, and decisive from Vinny. And I think those are the traits that I think defined Vinicius' success. Obviously, we know his speed, his skill, all of that. But I think that decision making, a lot of it, is what made Vinicius so world class. The fact that he was able to finally become decisive. He lost that last year, but I'm excited to see that he's got some of it back, at least for this one game. We'll see what happens against Juve. Juve have got a bit of a leaky defence, so I think Vinicius can definitely expand on this game, work harder, keep going, and hopefully next game we get a bit of the same, maybe even better, from Vinicius Junior. So I'm really happy with him. I do want to say the back three, we experimented with it this time out. I'm interested in it. I'm intrigued in it. It's obviously different. It's different, definitely. It gives us another tactical look, and I felt like one player who really shined, I think Tchouaméni, was fantastic. He was truly fantastic in that role, defensive midfield. For me, he was just outstanding. The way he dictated the play, it was something which I really wanted Tchouaméni to do when he first got here, is to eventually take that Toni Kroos dictating the ball. He never did it over the last few years. I felt like that's probably a lost cause, but I thought in the game yesterday where he played in the back three, it just, in the centre backs, he did a fantastic job and did exactly what was required of him. And I hope that this is something which continues, because in 3 games for Tchouaméni, he has looked really good in all 3. Really good on the ball, really decisive, crunching, just solid as a centre back. So I think, I'm really happy with Tchouaméni's performances, and hopefully it continues. Dean Housen, I think, also, is going to thrive in a potential back 3 because of his ball playing. And I think, he can definitely be the one to pick those passes. I think one thing I saw from Vinicius to make me very happy was the fact that he kept on getting forward, kept on getting into, breaking those lines and making runs in behind the defence. And with our passes in our team, with Housen, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, with Housen and with Trent and with Tchouaméni, Vinicius can get that ball played to him at any point, and when Mbappe comes back, Mbappe can get that ball played to him at any point. And so it gives us a lot of tactical versatility, where we now can actually break down teams based on our patterns of play, but we can also just hit them on the counter, Vinny and Mbappe behind. And this is the tactical versatility that we needed last season. We didn't get it, but this season it can definitely happen under Xabi Alonso, so I'm really excited to see it. And we also mentioned him, Trent, I thought, was a lot better in this game, really good on the ball, and play those balls into behind to Vinicius. I'm really excited to see Trent to Mbappe next game, or in the game after, whenever those two play together. I'm really excited to see that at work. I've also got to give a quick shout out to Fran Garcia. I thought Fran Garcia was actually very good, really, really good on the ball. And actually, for once, I thought he had a brain. He played like he had a brain, but also he gave his all, like he always does. It does look like Xabi Alonso is going to make Fran Garcia a pivotal part of his team, so it does probably mean bye-bye to Ferland Mendy. So I'm really happy for Fran Garcia, and hopefully he can make his place as the starting left back. Jude Bellingham also was great. Just his ability to break the lines down, play all the passes behind, it was just terrific, I thought. I think the way Jude Bellingham is now, he's not required to score the goals. I think it's fantastic, but also his ability to pick the passes and to cut through a defense, I think is just perfect from Jude Bellingham. He can break a defense by himself, and I think that's what you need. You know, for me, I think Jude Bellingham, you need him to do what the game requires, and I think a lot of last season that wasn't the case. So for me, this season, I think he needs to do whatever is required to break down the opposition defense. And in the Pachuca game, he saw that the attackers weren't getting too much space. So what happens? He breaks into the attack. He breaks into the final third, and he unleashes a fantastic shot which breaks the deadlock. This game, he's required to drop a little bit, but also be a little bit higher in number 10 position rather than up front. And he plays in some beautiful passes to Vinicius, and he just cuts through that defense really, really well. So I think overall Jude Bellingham just really improved performance, and I'm really happy to see it. Obviously now, it makes us think we're going to miss this guy for a couple of a little while. So that's obviously a bit unfortunate, but what can you do? Arda was also fantastic. The way he's dropping deeper, I think I love it from Xabi-Ball. So I love that idea because Arda is so fantastic on the ball, and he's able to pick those passes. So I'm really loving that new plan, and the way that Fede is also like shuttling to work this defense, work this midfield, work this attack. I think it's beautiful, and Fede's best football in my opinion came from when he was playing on that right side of the midfield, when he's shuttling down the right hand side, up and down, up and down, up and down. I think if he can replicate that this season, he can definitely compensate for some of the lack of some of the physical limitations of Arda Güler. He can definitely compensate for, but he can also score. He can also score in positions like he did for Vinicius, breaking into that counter. So I'm really happy to see what Fede's role is, and hopefully long may it continue. Apart from that, I think that's all I've got to say. I won't be here for the next week. I'm going on a holiday, unfortunately, so I won't be able to cover the Juve game. I'm not sure when if the quarterfinals will be by the time I'm back. I'm just gonna have a quick look. The quarterfinals would have taken place already, so I will miss the quarterfinals as well. But I might still talk about it. Yeah, that is it from me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Xabi Alonso football is finally underway, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.